In the past, there's been a lot of times that I talked to a lot of older people and I asked for advice about certain situations. And I was like, how did you do this and how did you do that? Or what was a lesson that you learned? And there was a common pattern. Many of them, they keep saying, like, oh, they all waited for life to happen to them. They weren't really proactive and they were reactive. They didn't really take initiation. They just took their time. They were like, oh, whatever happens, happens. Imagine they spent like years, doing like a job that they hated, but in reality that they wanted to do something else. They never had the courage to change it up and actually go forward and follow their actual pursuit that they made them happy. And this was very interesting to me because it was like, how can you live so many years but you never don't have the courage to go for what you want? And a lot of them, they were saying like, I wish I did this. Like you always talk to like some people, they don't have to necessarily be old. They can just be like maybe middle-aged, Gen Z even, like whatever, any people pretty much. And you ask them like, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I should have done that. And they're like, oh, I wish I could have experienced this. And they always come from a place that they never really acted for something that they wanted. They just stayed there like, whatever. I want it, but like, I just don't want to go through the tribulations, the trials, and like all those difficult moments to get there. But like, it's like, yeah, I wish I did it, but it's been like 5-10 years I never did it, right? And I was like, wow, like how can you not go for what you want? How can you just let life happen to you? Because a lot of the times, many of us, we just let life happen to us. We're just waiting for like a perfect opportunity. And I saw this video recently and someone was saying like, every problem that you have, you gotta see it as like a chance to reclaim yourself, prove yourself who you are. And it's like an opportunity to improve yourself and actually get a result that you want. And I was like, wow, man, it makes so much sense. Like, if there is a problem, then there is an opportunity. You can clearly solve it. You can clearly, make the like opening for yourself and go to the next level. And I was like, when I started seeing it like that from that lens, I was like, yo, there is so many opportunities around us, right? And I was like, you always seen those people that they always go for what they want. They always know what they want. Like they just ruthless. They're proactive. Unlike the first group of people that I mentioned, they just struggle. They have no clue what's going on. And imagine what you could have been if you just go for what you wanted. If you always been proactive, action, 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 action. A lot of people are stuck in the overthinking stage, and overthinking is actually good, but inaction is the problem because you have to take action. You have to be proactive. If you're just thinking and you're not doing nothing, and you're like, just procrastinating, it's like mental masturbation. You need to be proactive. And a lot of successful guys, I've seen the pattern. Like I've talked to a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them. And a lot of them is just, they are proactive. They don't take a no for answer. They just keep going and keep going until they get what they want. That's how these guys moves. Like, and a lot of people who just let life happen to them, they don't move like that. They think life is supposed to be easy. And whenever there is like a, convenient situation, they can attack. It's not how it works. You have to create that for you. You have to. Because all these like top tier like people like the insane careers, insane businesses, athletes, bro, they are ruthless. They just keep going. They create those opportunities for themselves. Every time they face something, they're like, it's an opportunity to prove myself who I say I am to myself. If you always tell yourself, oh, like I'm a strong person, I'm confident or I'm productive, but whenever there is like a situation in front of you, a problem in front of you, you just back out, then you're not the person you say you are. So you have to learn that all these opportunities, bro, it's like you have to like prove yourself who you are. You cannot get away with it. You cannot say no. Face it. Face it. So in the past, there's been so many times that I've seen a lot of girls and I was like, wow, she's beautiful. I want to get to know her. I want to see like what kind of girl she is. I want her, right? But fear got to me and I never went for it. I was a bitch. I was just being like, I thought like, oh, let me just wait for the perfect moment. So she like, she's alone or she sits somewhere or she's not listening to music or she's not training. Like, bro, if you wait for these things, like nothing is going to happen. If you just keep waiting for the perfect moment, you're like, you can just be the lion waiting for the deers or like all these animals just to pass by to hunt. But then you're just going to be there. You have to be proactive. And I was like, it just hurt me. Like every time I felt like a bitch. Like every time I like didn't go for what I wanted. Even for videos, there's been some videos that I always wanted to make, but I never made them. I was like, wow, man, like what's going on? Like why you just wait for the perfect opportunity? Make that perfect opportunity. And Like I'm telling you, because like every time I did felt like those like opportunities I have to do, and I did them, it felt so great. Like there's been times like for my birthday, like I always like to make like little special like artistic videos, and then I didn't have plans like for when I turned 20. I was like, let me just create something. Who cares, right? Let me just go for it, put a deadline and do it, right? And it wasn't on time, but I did it, and I felt amazing. And it's one of my best videos on this channel. It's called The New You. When I turned 22, that was the video that I made, and it's because I went for what I wanted. I didn't wait for life to happen to me. It's like, oh, like, you know, today there is like a work, or there is this like some tasks I have to do. No, 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 no. You don't do that. You create the opportunity for yourself. There is a problem, boom, there's an opportunity. Stop waiting for life to happen for you, because there is just no point. Nothing is gonna change if nothing changes. Let me give you an example from today, right? Today I go to the gym, and you know, like from the past experiences, like a lot of guys, they think, oh, like if there's like a girl sitting there, or like she's just listening to music, like you can't talk to her, it's impossible to get her number, right? Or like her Instagram or whatever you want to do, right? And then she was pretty attractive. I like how she looked. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for what I want. So I was like, I started the conversation. It was funny. You know what I'm saying? Like I did my thing. I got her Instagram, and I was like, wow, like it's that easy. You just have to be proactive. You just have to take the initiation and bend the reality towards your will. That's the quote. You know what? I'm going to start using that quote. You have to start bending the reality for your life. You know, like it's like your will is going to bend the reality. There we go. Your will bends the reality. Write that quote down for yourself, right? And I was like, wait, like this applies to everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So I was like, with content, there is a video you want to make, I gotta make it. There's a girl you want to talk to that girl. There is like a business idea, execute on it, and don't wait on it for like the next year. There's been so many times I've done that, and I was like, bro, I'm tired of this shit, man. So nowadays, bro, like recently, especially the past couple of months, I've been just ruthless. I go for what I want. Like I don't care the outcome, if it's good for what I want or I don't. It just doesn't matter, bro. I'm just going for it. I'm going for what I want, and I don't wait for life to like, you know, like wait to, you know, happen to me, right? So I'm like, if life gives me this opportunity, if they're like, this girl gives me like, you know, some guys are go choosing signals, like, oh my God, those guys are, I don't want to talk to them. But long story short, they wait for girls to give them some signs, so they approach them. Like, bro, that's such a feminine trait, just wait. Like, bro, are you a girl? Go for what you want. Go for what you want, man. Stop waiting for life to be like giving you this ideal dream situation. Oh, there's going to be no problems. Oh, I want to start this business, but, you know, I don't have money. Or, my computer is having issues, or I can't edit, or I can like, you know, I can, you know, make a script. Like these are all excuses for you to not be proactive. But if you take action, if you are like, you know, actually want it, and you don't want like wait for something to happen in your life, then you go for what you want. So this is my message. This is the things that I talk about on the, you know, usual basis on my channel. My message is to become abundant through excellence. Okay, so achieving abundance through excellence is the goal for this channel. And, you know, my goal is to be, you know, abundant, and I want you to be abundant too. That's the mission that we are on, right? And throughout this channel, like I've been posting, I've been documenting my journey. I was like an antisocial kid. I couldn't talk. I've done so many public interviews. I demonstrated how I started like, you know, socializing. I made videos on my lessons and other topics. I've talked about like, you know, quitting, you know, your, like, you know, fapping addiction, training, becoming your best self, you know, all these things. And 2 years ago, I was a different person. I've documented a lot of things, and I'm sharing my journey. And also, like, I wanna help you out from my experiences, because I feel like a lot of the times, like, there are so many things that have easy solutions, like some daily problems that a lot of you experience, but there is a simple solution for it, but we just tend to avoid it. We're like, yeah, like I gotta go get a haircut, or yeah, I gotta go, you know, talk to that girl, but like, it's a little bit uncomfortable. I don't want to do it. I'm just going to wait for the perfect opportunity, you know, unless the girl is like, oh, hey, I like you, then I'm going to talk to her. So I was just tired of it, and like I want to share my experiences, and I want us to grow together. You know, this is our mission. We have to grow. And imagine the feeling that you have when you're abundant. I mentioned this in this last video. Imagine when I keep saying this story because it really inspires me, and I know for a fact it's going to inspire you. Imagine when you're so financially secure that you just walk to your house and you tell your parents, you're retired. I got everything. That's the mission we are on. That's the mission we are on. That's the goals we want to strive for. So if you want to be part of our mission, go click the link in the description and join our Discord community. A lot of the social media nowadays, a lot of like modern media content, they push us to be like feeling a victim mindset and just be, you know, taking the foot off the gas of life, and we just sit there until life happens to us. And I'm not about that. I don't want you to be about that, you know, because we are about to be proactive. We are about to take action for what we want, and we are not going to wait for life to happen for us. That's the most feminine bitch thing that we can do, and that's not us. Okay? So if you resonate with my message, feel free to drop a like, drop a sub, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.